Seated. All things come of thee, O Lord, and of thine own have we given thee. Right. I'm sure that's familiar to some of you. I know that there are still churches out there that say this as part of the offertory, when the symbols of our life and labor, the bread and the wine, and these days money and pledges and other financial offerings, when they are brought to the altar. It's not uncommon, although not here, but it's not uncommon elsewhere for the priest to lift these items into the air and say, all things come of thee, O Lord, and the congregation responds, and of thine own have we given thee. It's a line that comes from King David's thanksgiving prayer in the book of Chronicles, where he acknowledges this delicious irony of giving anything to God, because everything comes from the holy, divine, creative, and creating source of all life. And so the only things that we have to give are things that come from God's own hand. In other words, it is all gift. And what we participate in is a gift economy, a glorious and sacred cycle of gratitude and reciprocity. I wonder if this occurred to the Magi as they knelt before the child and opened their treasure chests and offered gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Do you think they understood that nothing they had to offer was actually theirs? That it all comes from God, it all already belongs to God, and so the best that they can do is to simply but profoundly give it back to God. Do you think that occurred to them? Does it occur to us in the daily navigation of our quotidian lives, that everything we have, everything we are, none of it exists entirely because of our own effort? The families that we are born into, the landscapes we inhabit, the histories that we tell, none of it is purely of our own making. Our languages, our basic conceptual frameworks, our cultural inheritances, those are all passed down from our ancestors, and we use them and change them and then pass them on to future generations. Our talents and our abilities, the perfect pitch that some of you have, the green thumbs that others of you have, the facility with numbers and spreadsheets, the compassion and skill for working with kids or with elders, the ability to critically analyze complex topics and teach them to others, all of that is gift. Now, it's true that we often rightly and wisely spend much time and plentiful resources learning and practicing and honing our natural abilities, but that's because they give us joy and life, and also because that's how we share our gifts with others, which after all is the real purpose of gifts, right? Potawatomi botanist and author Robin Wall Kimmerer says this: to name the world as gift is to feel one's own membership in the web of reciprocity. Gifts make us happy, and they make us accountable to others, she says. Gifts generate the twin response of gratitude and reciprocity. And gratitude is more than just a simple thank you, she says. Gratitude is the thread that connects us in a deep relationship. It creates a sense of abundance and a climate of sufficiency where our hunger for more and more and more abates, and we take only what we need. Moreover, gratitude, she argues, is a motive force in the world. And reciprocity is more than simply responding in kind. Reciprocity is a force multiplier of generosity. In her essay, The Service Berry, An Economy of Abundance, Kimmerer describes a bush full of delicious, ripe berries. A manifestation, she says, of the plant's generosity and care and creativity. And having received the bounty offered by the plant's generosity, she asks, what could I give the plant in return? It could be a direct response like weeding or water or a song of thanks that sends appreciation out on the wind. Or it could be indirect, like donating to my local land trust so that more habitat for these gift givers will be saved. Or maybe making art that invites others into the web of reciprocity. I can accept the gift from the bush, she says, and then spread that gift with a dish of berries to my neighbor, who makes a pie to share with a friend, who then feels so wealthy in food and friendship that he volunteers at a food pantry. That's how the gift economy works. That's how gratitude and reciprocity mutually reinforce and multiply each other. And Kimmerer contrasts this gift economy with the market economies that we are all in thrall to. If, she says, if instead of gifts we view these berries or that coal or that forest as an object, as property, then it can be exploited as a commodity. And we all know the consequences of that. The dominance of economic systems that commoditize everything, she says, creates scarcity instead of abundance and promotes accumulation rather than sharing. I wonder if we can't catch a glimpse of that same divergence in today's gospel, in how Herod views the world as a place of scarcity, necessitating a continual concentration of power where there can be only one, and how the Magi view the world as a place of abundance, where exchanging all precious gifts is how justice and mercy is generated and perpetuated. Kimmerer writes, quote, I cherish the notion of the gift economy, that we might back away from the grinding market economy that reduces everything to a commodity and leaves most of us bereft of what we really want: relationship and purpose and beauty and meaning, those things that can never be commoditized. I want to be part of a system, she says, in which wealth means having enough to share, and where the gratification of meeting your family needs is not poisoned by destroying that possibility for someone else. I want to live in a society where the currency of exchange is gratitude and the infinitely renewable resource of kindness, which multiplies every time it is shared, rather than depreciating with every use. Friends, as we enter this season of Epiphany, this season of light, the season of gift, let us be ever mindful of all of the gifts that we continually receive and the gifts that we can so generously give. And let us, like the Magi, continue to gather in wonder before the greatest gift of all, God's own self, given for the life of the world. And then, like the Magi, let us continue to respond by opening our treasures and and sharing with one another and participating ever more fully in God's eternally abundant gift economy. Amen.